Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I love this.
My name's Milne. #Blue
our sports update deliverer. The Koob.
I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up today. You know what, Reid? You might want to.
All right, here's what's going on in the net. Good afternoon, you beautiful people. The island may be long, but the Oilers are short on solutions right now. My goodness, they just cannot win. They cannot get anything going. They are back at it in 2.5 hours. Oilers visiting the New York Islanders. Now, the Oilers, of course, did not hold a morning skate after playing last night. We do expect Calvin Pickard to be in goal. Only a couple of decisions against the Islanders in his career. 3 appearances, 2 decisions. He's 1-1, 3.74 goals against average, .875 save percentage. The Islanders are expected to go with Ilya Sorokin in net. 3-3-1 against the Oilers in his career. So kind of a mediocre record, but some really good stats. 2.42 goals against average, .931 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Islanders expected to have Horvat between Duclair and Palmieri, Pajot with Lee and Holmstrom, Cizikas with Engvall and Fasching, McLean with Siplikoff and Gatcomb, Romanov, or how do you say this guy's name? Romanov with D'Angelo, Pelech with Dobson, and Mayfield with Pulak. Of course, Matthew Barzal is one of their key injuries. We'll see if the Oilers bring Janmark back into the lineup, and we'll see what they do up front. Are they going to have McDavid and Draisaitl together? Are they going to split them up? Does it matter at this point, given how the team is playing? We'll discuss that and other things over the next hour and a half. Then at 4:30, I'll hand the stream over to Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show. I'll rejoin you from 5:30 to 6, just what Jay and I did yesterday. And the boys will be on after the game for the postgame show, and perhaps might have to deal with another disappointing outing here. But am I that down about the team already that I'm talking about this game as a loss before it even starts? I shouldn't do that. But anyway, they do have the Islanders coming up. Jay Milne is off today. I think he's missing this show and the next 3 into next week. So I'm flying solo today. I'm happy to hear from you, of course. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Give us a text, 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino. Home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. So I have an additional challenge today because usually Jay monitors the texts. And why that's important, especially today, because it is a game day. So I'm going to have to keep track of your guesses for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. So hopefully we'll be able to do that, and I'll identify the correct winner over the course of the show, and I'll have the first clue coming up for that in a few minutes. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Always happy to get your limericks. It is a limerick already from the Big Uke, who keeps track of all of his limericks. And apparently this is his 99th limerick. What is this, show 130 or something like that? Rob from the Grove keeps track of the shows, and the Big Uke keeps track of how many limericks he's written. That's pretty amazing.
That's beautiful.
So the Big Uke says, today I write Limerick 99. I think most have been pretty fine. Hockey showdown, the rink downtown. What is the best way to put nasties in a line? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And he wrote Limerick 99 without a Wayne Gretzky reference, which I think is a positive, that he didn't do the obvious creative thing. He went down a bit of a different path. So you can email me, Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. If you're taking us in on an audio stream through the website, through iHeartRadio, through TuneIn Radio, we thank you. Subscribe or favorite the show, whatever you need to do. If you're on YouTube, which includes a video element, give us the thumbs up, and you can jump into the nasty chat and talk with us, and more importantly, with each other. I already have some good people in there chatting last night. And remember, click the thumbs up.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
That's become something I've known for 25 years. A song about clicking thumbs up, having a persona as a bookbinder. That's it. That's really all I've been able to bank in my career. Not known for anything else. Those two things. I guess better than nothing. All right, Zachary Kubusch is here as well, your sports update deliverer and our technical producer. Koob, quickly, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's a Friday. It's bright outside. Yesterday it was a little bit ugly, but I'm getting hyped for the heavy hockey showdown going down tomorrow at the DCA, as Uke mentioned in his 99th limerick.
All right, we'll talk about that as we move along throughout the afternoon as well. Pretty, I don't know what I was going to use the word disturbing. Probably not an appropriate word to use when talking about a sports team, but I think some discouraging, disheartening trends we've seen here with the Oilers, who are now 5-9 since February 1st. So I've decided I was including that January 30th game against Detroit, but they did get a point in that game, so you could just as easily lump that in with the good stretch before that. So going back to February 1st, the Oilers are 5-9. That's a .357 points percentage. In that span, only one team is worse. So you had that 29-30 game stretch where the Oilers were the best team in the National Hockey League. Since then, second worst in the NHL. So not a lot of middle ground with this team. The only team that's worse, you might expect, is the San Jose Sharks, 3-7-3. That's a .346 points percentage. So the Oilers barely ahead of the San Jose Sharks. And here's what I seem to be seeing over and over again with this team lately, as this kind of poor stretch has started. They are, in my mind, and we can talk about some, we'll talk about some details and certain players and the lines and all that kind of stuff. But just very generally, from an execution standpoint, from things that are important to winning hockey games, pretty much at any level. Like even if you're, is it Timbits now? Is that what they call the little guys? It was Mighty Mites when I was a kid. Mighty Mites, U6, whatever it is, all the way up to the NHL. You have to be better at the front of both nets than the other team, or at least tie, and then see what else happens from there. And I feel, as we've gone on here and seen the Oilers play night after night, that their inside presence is lacking. Okay, so, they call it, the old-fashioned thing is the slot, or imagine that home plate area coming out from the icing line to the face-off dots and then angling and meeting sort of at the top of the circles, that home plate area in front of the net, or I guess sometimes they do it reverse too. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. That important area 20 to 30 feet away from the goal. And I look at these games, and the Oilers do not have enough oomph in those areas. So great, it's great they outshot the New Jersey Devils. That's great. It's great Jake Allen made some saves. I actually thought Jake Allen had probably an easier night than Stuart Skinner. And we'll talk about Skinner and those screenshots that went in, because that's part of the story, and part of the story of this season is the team's goaltending. But I looking at that game, so Skinner made two great saves in the second period. And then the Oilers score early in the third period on a goal in which they actually just got the puck to the front of the net. And you had Draisaitl and Hyman both sort of in the way, waving at it, that probably threw off Allen, or maybe he didn't see all of it. So the Oilers score a simple goal by just getting the puck to the net. And then the Devils come back and score two goals where they just win possession of the puck and get it to the net, and it goes in. And the Oilers, in my mind, are continually inferior in the front of the net at both ends of the rink. It's not always by a wide margin. It's not always absolutely getting destroyed, but to me, it's enough that it's one of the reasons they're losing games. And I know on that road trip coming out of the Four Nations face-off, they got trounced a couple of times, looked really bad, but most of their losses have been close. So what's part of the fine line here that's separating them, that's preventing them from winning games? In my mind, can you get to the front of the net, and can you score goals, the most important, but if not, can you do things that might lead to goals later on in the game? Are you being a nuisance for the goaltender? Are you making the other team's goaltender think like, okay, I'm pretty sure I can stop this, but who's going to be in my way? Who's going to be jamming at me? Who might all of a sudden pop in front of my vision? And maybe you're wearing down other teams' defensemen as well. Oh, here come the Oilers on the forecheck. They're digging for the puck down low. They're forcing the puck to the net. They're pounding away at me and things that might pay off in the third period. I'll start in the offensive end because, and again, I know we often talk about defense, goal prevention first, goaltending, checking, all that kind of stuff. But as I continually say, I do not want to let the offensive players, the forwards, off the hook because they have been almost entirely deficient except for Leon Draisaitl. Now, Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman got put together yesterday. They created a couple goals. I thought they were clearly the most dangerous line. Who else is really doing anything up front? Who else is really getting to the net? Who else is really mucking it up? Who else is a pain for the other team to defend? I would say, big picture, consistently, no one would be my answer. We've talked about Nugent Hopkins' struggles. We've talked about the struggles of that Henrique Janmark Brown line, though I know they're not always a line, and Janmark didn't play last night. Max Jones came in. His ice time was whittled down to about 4.5 minutes last night, so he hardly even played. Now, Corey Perry, I think, is doing what he can, but this is the conversation now we're in with this point, and Jay and I talked about this a couple of days ago. After Leon Draisaitl, for the last month and a half, has Corey Perry been the team's best chance at scoring a goal? It kind of has come to that for, the guy who's almost 40 to be perhaps, I guess you still have to put McDavid in there, but perhaps your third best offensive threat. So, the question here is, and maybe this is the confusing part, when they were playing well, like they were playing well, and I didn't think it was by accident. And again, it lasted for 30 games. It wasn't, they played well for 4 games, but really we know they're a bad team. They did it for a long stretch of time, and now they're not doing it. So is this, they're not meeting their potential? Is this a lot of guys are slumping at the same time? Or is this maybe some players experiencing age, fatigue, injury, all that kind of stuff, and they're just not quite there? Because that's what I keep looking at. They're a team that's not quite there. And I watched the first period here and then watched the second, third periods with my parents. And I said to my parents, it was still 0-0 in the second period. I don't think either team had scored yet. And I said, there's just no spark with this team. Like they're doing stuff, and they can get the puck out and they can get it up the ice, but there's never that sense that the Oilers, at least for me, there's never that sense that the Oilers are in control of the game or on the verge of controlling it or punching back after the other team has done something well. And other teams will do something well. I'm not saying you get, if the Oilers don't win 6-0, they're terrible. But, this is not anything based on stats. This is just my observation. I never get that sense, holy crap, the Oilers are on the cusp of taking this game over. Or, even when they do things well on the offensive zone, it just leaves you wanting. It's like, well, they had the puck down there and they kind of got some shots, but did I ever really feel they were going to score? And that's sort of where I am right now with this team. And, I do think they can play better because they have done it. And I'm not even talking about last year's postseason anymore. This year's version of the team, despite some of the underachieving players we've been talking about for a long time, they have done it this year. So can they find this extra 5 or 10% that they need to win the games the last 2 games have been 3-2. And to be fair, against Buffalo, they had a fair number of chances, which I did feel that they actually did last night. I do think, and I hate to be the negative Nelly. Maybe this isn't being a negative Nelly. It's like a warning Willie. I'll put this out as a warning. The warning Willie. I do think we have to have in the back of our minds that this team has a lot of work to do to clinch a playoff spot. And usually I wouldn't say that about a team that really is more than 5 or 6 points ahead of the cut line. But I'll talk about this more coming up in the Oil Understood. If the Oilers keep playing at this pace, getting less than 40% of their points, they might not get in. And right now they don't look like a team that can get 40% of their points. Now they do have one of the easiest schedules the rest of the way, and that's largely because they play the San Jose Sharks 3 times. And again, based on the record since February 1st, the Sharks are the only team that the Oilers should be favored against, quite frankly. No, bluntly. Koob's kind of like giving me this weird look, but that's based on the results since February 1st. If you were to rank who should beat who, the only team the Oilers should beat is the San Jose Sharks, and they may have to win those games. All right? So that's all I'm saying. 780-218-9999 is how you reach us. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We better do the first clue. All right, so I got to watch this. I don't know if anybody's going to get it after the first clue, but this is the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. You must text your guesses. It's text only. It's 3 guesses per phone number. I know how Jay does this. It's very easy to sort and determine how many times you've texted in. Maximum 3 guesses per phone number. And again, only texting the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. The mystery athlete of the game is presented by Hudson's Canada's Pub. You're invited down tonight for the Oilers game. You can also join them Fridays and Saturdays. Today is Friday, After 9 p.m. for the late night happy hour specials. Food starting at $4, drinks from $3.75. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. You're trying to win a $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub. The first clue is Gator. Now, do I have to put these in the nasty chat as well? I think I do, eh?
I could go about doing that.
I'll do it. I
Okay.
have to try to branch out and learn.
Right? But you're doing it on the fly. You're doing a lot. Solo show you. I mean,
Oh,
you haven't
Papa
done it
Homer.
consistently for.
You are so learned.
Learned, son. It's pronounced learned.
Yeah, we'll be good. So clue number 1 is Gator. Gator. Surveyor Brett says Poopy Pants Pete. Big Uke. Curmudgeonly Carl. What did I say? A worrisome Willie? A warningly Willie? Something like that. Penner's Pancake says, we do have to stop this miss the playoffs nonsense. Oilers can go 11-6, and the Canucks can go 14-2-1, and they would still get in, so let's not get carried away. Well, if you believe that the Oilers can go 11-6. Guesses in the nasty chat do not count. Okay? You must text your guesses, and the first clue is Gator. It's March 14th. So they call it Pi Day, eh, Koob? 314. Do you know what pi is? The mathematical
it's a
thing?
mathematical number, something
Right.
that you use for some
3.1.
equations.
How many decimal points do you know it up to?
3.141816. That's probably
Is
as far
that
as I know.
accurate? That's the first 6?
Let's see, pi.
So they call it Pi Day 3.14. No correct. A few guesses coming in right away for the mystery athlete of the game. They're all incorrect. So it's Pi Day. So I was actually talking to this. You know this guy that works in the morning? His name's Dustin Nielsen. He was here like till mid-afternoon. It was quite shocking. So I said, well, he's like, you going to do a Pi Day thing? I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do a Pi Day thing. So here's what I came up with for the off-topic topic. Presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. I would like you to rank the 4 following sweets. Pie, cake, cookies. Actually, sorry. I totally screwed that up. One of them is not a sweet. These 4 non-nutritional, somewhat dessert-themed items. Rank these 1 through 4. Pie, cake, cookies, and chips. Pie, cake, cookies, and chips. Grumpy Cat says it's 3.14159. Hey, Koob, why do you
I got 1.4.
Well, everybody gets to 3.14. Then don't just randomly pick numbers, actually know it.
Okay. My bad. Shot in the dark.
All right. Well, I didn't want a shot in the dark on pie. Pie is an important thing.
Yeah, pie is lovely.
22 divided by 7. So the off-topic topic for William Huff, rank these following 4 dessert / non-nutritional snack items: pie, cake, cookies, and chips. We got the Oil Understood coming up for GCL Diesel. Hernan Salas is going to join me at 4 o'clock as well. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, who's not here today on Edmonton Sports Talk.
The Oilers battle the Islanders on Long Island for early game. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show live on location from Boston Pizza Westgate to tee up the action. Catch it right here on EST at 4:30 or swing by BP's for the game. 5 other games on tap. Detroit meets Carolina. The Stars and Hurricanes meet. And the hockey club takes on the Kraken. In Calgary, Michael Backlund is out week to week with an upper body injury. His team plays tonight against the Avs. And for the Golden Knights, Stanley Cup champion Adin Hill signed a 6-year, $37.5 million extension, keeping him in Vegas through the 2030-2031 season. Basketball sees the Lakers ruling out Luka Doncic for tonight's matchup with the Nuggets for some lingering issues he's facing. He has a sprained ankle as well as a left calf injury. And Toronto also plays Utah. That one's at 7:30. The Hornets also go at it with the Spurs, seeing 10 games around the association. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or call them at 780-467-5014. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out the grand opening sale ends soon.
All right, thanks a lot for tuning in. Oilers, Islanders. They played earlier in the season. The Oilers won it in overtime on a goal by Leon Draisaitl. The Oilers this century on the road against the Islanders, which is like, isn't this like their fourth arena or something like that? Tom, maybe it's their third arena. I don't know. The Oilers this century on the road against the Islanders are 3-11-2 with one win in regulation time. It has not been good for them to play on the road against the New York Islanders, regardless of the arena. The off-topic topic for William Huff is rank in order cookies, cake, pie. It's Pie Day, 3/14, and chips. Mike, the Michigan fan, has pie number 1, then cookies, then chips, then cake. Chris has chips, cake, cookies, and pie. Collingwood Rob, cookies, chips, pie, and cake. Pie not doing very well on Pie Day. Saskatoon Muncher says cookies, cake, chips, and then pie. Has Jasmine given us a ranking? She should. Jen, cake first, then chips, then cookies, and then pie. Yeah, I think pie's going to come in last. Oh, no, Zulu has pie first. Pie, chips, cookies, and cake. Rob from the Grove wants to know if cake includes ice cream cake. I guess I could have put ice cream in its own category. Well, what are you going to do? Smurfy999. I don't know if I've ever seen that handle in there before. Cake, pie, chips, and cookies. Surveyor Brett. Good guy. Cake, chips, pie, and cookies. All right, we'll keep seeing what comes in. A quick side note here. I met somebody and I hugged somebody today. Somebody I have owed a hug for several months. Smitty the Welder was at Edmonton Sports Talk. Smitty the Welder, a very loyal listener and often a very energetic poster in the nasty chat, was here to pick up some prizing. And I can't remember what it was, but Smitty the Welder and I were going back and forth about something earlier in the season. And we were getting upset, or perhaps pretending to get upset. And I said I owed him a hug. He came in today, and we hugged. It was beautiful. All right, so that was pretty cool. Keep giving us the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Let's see if we can get to 130 here by 4:30. We will try to do a word of the day later, even though Jay is away. And I think Koob came up with a word of the day or two, so we'll get to them. Jode says, is Skinner scratched tonight? Well, Stuart Skinner is not the expected goaltender. Jodes, we don't know the lines because there was no morning skate. Knobloch has not spoken yet. I guess we'll see if Janmark is healthy, if he's going to come in or not. I mean, based on, I got to find my game sheet, last night's ice time, if Knobloch or the coaching staff scratches someone based on how much they played last night, then Max Jones would be scratched. He only played 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Only had 8 shifts and was -1. Who played the least after that? Corey Perry played 11, Jeff Skinner played 10-10. So he was the next lowest amongst the forwards. I'm not sure what they're going to do at this point. I'm not sure if, I'll get into this in a sec here. It is the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. All right. See, I'm not sure how they're going to deploy people tonight. Does it really matter how they... Okay. Yes, it matters. I understand that. I interrupted myself. Yes, it matters how they deploy people. But what I was going to say is, does it really matter how they deploy people if they play with the lack of energy that they are generally playing with? Now, the big debate that comes up, Draisaitl and McDavid together. And you know what? And I think we need to stop calling it the nuclear option. We need a better name than that. But I don't know what it would be right now. okay, so this guy's with this guy instead. If neither of the players who are options to play together, or three guys who are options to put together on the same line, can complete a couple of passes in the offensive zone and cycle the puck and grind away and then get the puck to the net, what difference does it make who is playing together? If you're putting together a batting order in baseball and nobody can hit a pitch, who cares what the order is? And that's sort of how the Oilers look right now, offensively. I mean, Draisaitl to me is still very, very good. I do think Hyman continues to be around the front of the goal. Puck hasn't been going in for him like it did last year. McDavid is not as McDavid-esque as he usually is, but he's still more dangerous than most players in the league. And as I said, then you have Corey Perry, who looks like at times he might actually do something creative enough or work hard enough that he can score. So other than that, who's really doing anything? There was a play yesterday in the third period. I don't know if anybody is going to remember this, but I thought to myself, this is a perfect indication of why this team is struggling in the offensive end. Arvidsson was out there, and the Oilers actually had a decent shift going, and Arvidsson was on the offensive left wing, and the puck came in from the right, and a rebound got spit out, and it went to Jake Allen's right. So again, the Oilers' left side attacking, and there was no Devil player there to clear the puck, and there was also no Oiler player there to possibly bang a rebound into an open half of the net. Who should have been there was Victor Arvidsson. Victor Arvidsson had his butt firmly planted against the boards by the hash marks, waving his stick for a one-timer. Which is great. There's times you want to set up for a one-timer, but there's times when you're getting the puck closer to the other team's net where maybe you should join in that scrum and see if you can jam one in. So there's this odd mentality, I think, with some of the players that they think they can score from distance. And then I also think there are some players who probably are working hard and just are not able to get to the front of the net and execute. And maybe that's the situation with some of the third-line players I've talked about. I'll bring up one player, and I want to clarify with everybody. I hope you realize this. When I bring up an individual player, I'm not putting all the blame on that individual player. I'm just using that player as an example of problems. You could go through anybody in the lineup probably and find some deficiencies lately. But so Connor Brown was signed almost 2 years ago to hopefully be Connor McDavid's winger, and if not, maybe to be a winger for Leon Draisaitl. He turned out to be neither. So it took him 57, 60, whatever games it was to score last year. And by that point, he's playing on the third or fourth line, okay? And then we get into the postseason, then they acquire Henrique, him and Janmark or Brown, Janmark, and Henrique become a line, and they kind of get rolling in the playoffs. They contribute to an outstanding penalty kill. They score some big shorthanded goals. They work pretty hard 5-on-5. They even score some big 5-on-5 goals, especially in the Cup final. And it's maybe the strongest third line the Oilers have had in forever. However, for maybe 06, however far back you want to go. And now you come into a full season, and now Connor Brown, for example, has to play a full season as a third liner. So he no longer, though, has the skill or the finish to be really productive. And quite frankly, long-term as a third liner, does he have the grind and the snarl to play that role for 80 games? Or 82 games, wherever we're at. So, and that's what Bowman said last Friday after the deadline, is that the Oilers have too many similar type of players. Because quite frankly, when the Oilers signed Connor Brown, he would have been compared to Zach Hyman. Not as high level, but sort of in that mold. So he hasn't really done that, and he's never really been asked to be a third or fourth liner and go out and play mean and be a physical forechecker. So now it's kind of like, what is he actually bringing? Okay? And then with other players, again, either there's some drop-off or lack of identity or just that lack of oomph I was talking about And now you got a team that doesn't sustain any sort of offensive pressure. And it's like it's odd to me that they outshot the Devils by the margin that they did, because I didn't think the Oilers were very dangerous in the offensive zone. I think it's a lot of one and dones. I think it's a lot of shots that aren't very dangerous. I think it's a lot of shots on goaltenders who aren't bothered. I think it's a lot of opposing defenders who don't have to worry too much about the front of the net or being hit down low, and then away you go. The other teams are being able to pull out these wins. I understand if you want to mock my theory that the Oilers have to be a little concerned about a playoff spot. I totally understand that. They're probably going to get in. But I will throw this out there. The Oilers' points percentage since February 1st is .357. If they go .357 the rest of the way, they'll get 12 points in 17 games. That'll put them at 90 points. That might not get them in. It's like I will say this. If the Oilers continue to get basically 35% of their points for the rest of the way, it's going to come down to the last 2 games of the season to make the playoffs. That's not me being negative. That's math, everybody. Now, will they probably win at some point? Yes. Could they win tonight? Of course they could. Of course they could. But the pace at which they've been playing now for an extended period of time, 14 games, that's not a small sample size. It's almost a fifth of a regular season, would suggest that it could be a little touch and go. Now, if they can put something together, win even 3 or 4, they're probably pretty safe. I'm just saying. All right? I'll save that for the next segment. Something else I got. All right, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. I'm going to give the second clue. Let me just make sure nobody won. Oh, some really interesting guesses. Really interesting guesses. Nobody has got it. The second clue in the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game is playoff. All right? Playoff is the second clue. I think there's a chance somebody might get it now, but you have to think like me. That's alarming to people, isn't it? Just think like me and you'll get it. The first clue, Gator. The second clue, playoff. You must text your guess to the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. Back with some of your headlines. More chat about the Oilers. Hernan Salas is going to pop in. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
Calvin Pickard is the expected starter for the Oilers against the Islanders. Edmonton dropped a 3-2 decision yesterday to New Jersey. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show to tee up the action at 4:30 right here on EST. You can also swing by Boston Pizza Westgate to join the boys live on location. In Vegas, Aiden Hill has signed a 6-year extension worth an average salary of over $6 million. In 39 games this season, Hill has a 21-11-4 record, holding a .906 save percentage. Elsewhere, Utah visits Seattle. The Stars and Jets go head-to-head, while Calgary hosts the Avs, having Flames captain Michael Backlund being week-to-week with an upper body injury he sustained Wednesday against the Canucks. In 10 games around the association, Toronto faces Utah. The Mavs throw down against the Rockets, while the Lakers ruled out Luka Doncic for their matchup against the Nuggets due to some lingering lower body issues he's suffering, including a sprained ankle and a left calf injury. Out in Vancouver, the U of A Pandas tip off with the SMU Huskies for the U Sports Consolation Semi-Final. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Reid Wilkins rolls on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Do you have pets? Horses, chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. That song was the first dance at Jay Milne's wedding. Quite romantic. We do not have a winner yet in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Some very interesting guesses. Some I quite admire, but nothing correct yet. The two clues are Gator, Gator, and playoff. All right? Well, got a couple more clues. I do have another audio clue today, like we did yesterday, that I think will give it away. All right. You got to text them in, 780-218-9999. Remember, tomorrow is the heavy hockey showdown from noon to 3 at the downtown community arena. We're going to have Tom Gazzola on the ice. Koob, you're on the ice as well. You're playing. When was the last time you played hockey?
Probably a few weeks ago.
You play regularly? Yeah. I have not played a hockey game on skates probably in 30 years. Dustin Nielsen is playing. Sean Bell probably will be the best player on the ice, I would guess. If you would like to donate, and this is all in support of the Sexual Assault Center of Edmonton, you can find the link in the YouTube description. First of all, SACE providing essential services to thousands of children, youth, and adults who have been impacted by sexual violence. When you donate to SACE, you're helping provide crisis support, professional trauma counseling, police and court support, advocacy, direct public education, and advisory consultation with groups and agencies undertaking their own prevention efforts. This is a great organization. It's obviously been facing some challenges lately. And, Dash and some of the guys from heavy hockey, Michael, were here earlier. I think Surveyor Brett was here as well, right? We're all here earlier on the hangout. So they're doing a great job. I think some or all of them are going to be at Westgate BP as well. There's going to be a silent auction there to help out. This is an incredible cause. So you can donate. Again, the link is in the YouTube description. Or go check it out tomorrow, noon to 3 at the downtown community arena. Perhaps the bookbinder will make an appearance.
I would love to see that.
Jack in the Beanstalk says, do you think Nude should be off McDavid's line permanently? No. Permanently is a long time, Jack. That's all I'm saying. X-Ray J says, can we hear the pre and post at BP's, or should I bring my portable speaker? Bring your portable speaker, because I just want to see you walking around with it. Nick Sun says, why would Knobloch call out fourth liners for turning over the puck 2 minutes before a goal against? It's not like the core players are playing great at the moment. Well, look, when you're asking me that type of question, you're asking me to speculate on another person's behavior, which is difficult for me to do. I guess I would answer that is that he's talking or was asked about a sequence that directly wound up leading to a goal. Because I think, what was he saying? There was a turnover and an icing, and then fourth liners got stuck out against first liners, and that led to the goal. It's been since last night since I heard the post game. I think that was how the answer went. So I think he specifically talked about that because it led to a goal. But you're right. It's not as if the team as a whole is playing great in general. But again, I would just have to speculate on why another person would answer a question a certain way. Portions of this hour presented by the Canadian Brewhouse. How about this golf sim at the Ice House? Sharpen your skills before the courses open at the Canadian Ice House. Our TrackMan golf simulators are open. Real golf action in downtown Edmonton. Visit us in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for more info. Jason Milne is off today. He's going to miss a few days next week as well. You're stuck with me flying solo. Give us a thumbs up if you're taking in the show on YouTube. We are endeavoring to get to 130 by 4:30 today. Little behind that pace, so get in there.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right. I like Jay laughing in the background of that. I was thinking to myself, too, about how the Oilers are playing. And sometimes I've talked about this on shows I've hosted, that feeling of a team playing uphill or downhill, and a lot of times you feel like, they're playing downhill, like they just make it feel as if the opposition can't offer a lot of resistance, or if the opposition is offering a lot of resistance, it doesn't matter. They just keep going. And it's not always related to the score of the game. It can be, but I mean, sometimes a team might be behind or tied, but you still feel like they're playing downhill, and it's just a matter of time before they're successful. And you certainly don't get that vibe with the Oilers lately. You don't get the vibe that they're going to come back, and you don't get the vibe that they're going to really take control of a game. So we're talking about now, since going back to February 1st, they have just 5 wins in 14 games. So I thought to myself, how many times have the Oilers had a 2-goal lead since February 1st? At any point in the game, have they had a 2-goal lead? It's happened thrice, which, first of all, gives me another chance to use the word thrice in a sentence. Back on February 5th at Chicago, and here's the thing, even when they've had these 2-goal leads, you could argue that they haven't been playing downhill the entire time, because they had a 2-goal lead in Chicago on February 5th. Chicago tied the game, and the Oilers won it 4-3 in overtime. On March 1st against Carolina, the Oilers were up 2-0. Carolina made it 2-1. It got hairy in the third period. Bouchard scored a buzzer beater into an empty net on the power play, and the Oilers won the game 3-1. And then last Saturday, March 8th, the Oilers had a 5-1 lead against the Dallas Stars. Did they keep playing downhill? They did not. Dallas came back to make it 5-4. Now the Oilers did win. So, how many times, some of it's score related, but a lot of it is just game flow and performance related. And just from observing that feeling of the Oilers playing downhill. And it's rarely there. It seems like this team cannot take control of a game, cannot force the other team onto their heels, cannot have a lot of momentum, and as a result, they're losing far more often than they win. I've talked about the net presence on offense. I think the same thing in the defensive end. You'd look at the 2 goals New Jersey got in the third period last night to tie it and then win it. There are players, in some cases, multiple players, in front of the Oilers' net, being a nuisance. I mean, even the New Jersey first goal of the game, They win the face-off. They get it back to Bratt. It's a set play. Pesce comes in from the point as an option to maybe pass to, as an option for a deflection, or simply looking for a rebound. The Oilers don't pick it up. Pesce's there for a rebound goal. And then the other two against a screen Stuart Skinner. So there's another example of the Oilers being not quite good enough in that all-important area of the ice. So they're not checking well enough. They're not clearing the front of their own net well enough. They're just not playing a firm enough game. And then, of course, you get to the goaltending. And again, I tend to not debate individual goals unless there's something that is obviously a stinker. So I'm not going to necessarily say that one should have been stopped, that one should have been stopped, whatever. My argument is just stop one of the two. And I've said this before this season, and I know Gager was talking about it earlier today. Goalies are screened all the time. You got to find a way to make a save. Battle for it, make yourself big, find the puck. And I think we've seen Skinner too often this season been beaten on some sort of a screen shot or a deflection where you might say, well, he was screened, but also you got to make a save. And especially you need a save when you're up 2-1 or then it's tied 2-2. So all these things adding up to the Oilers losing yet again and having just 5 wins in their last 14 games. So they'll try again tonight against the New York Islanders, who have been very successful on home ice against the Oilers, going back a long way. Since the calendar changed to the 2000s, the Oilers are just 3-11-2 road games against the Islanders, including just one regulation win by Edmonton. Phyllis says the Oilers have to tighten up their defense in third periods. Yeah, well, I would argue all periods. But now, last night, they were doing okay. They were up 2-1 in the third, but they couldn't put it away. So when they're up 2-1, it's like, man, oh man, if they can get through this one, because again, we talk a lot about the goaltending. Skinner made 2 huge saves in the second period on shots that looked like goals. He made 2 huge saves. The Oilers score early in the third, and I'm thinking, my God, this looks like the formula for a victory. They held off a couple big chances by the Devils. They get a key goal in the third, and then New Jersey scores shortly after, and then scores shortly after then, and then the Oilers are, here we go again, playing uphill. And they can't figure out a way to get up the hill and then come down the other side and have some momentum. So taking on the Islanders tonight, who will have Sorokin in net. Of course, Calvin Pickard, the expected starter for your Edmonton Oilers, who are now third in the Pacific Division. The Kings, 79 points. The Oilers, 78 points. Kings also have a game in hand. Again, the best non-playoff team in the Western Conference is the Vancouver Canucks. The Oilers are 7 points ahead. The Islanders, they're going uphill to make the playoffs. They have 65 points. The playoff cut line in the East is currently 70, but the Islanders would have to pass 5 teams to get into the postseason, so they're facing quite a bit of a climb themselves to get back in. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We do not have... Just checking here. We do not have a winner in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Should I give the third clue now, Koob?
I'd say so.
Because we got to get a winner by the bottom of the hour, right? By the time we're done at 4:30. So the first clue was Gator. The second clue was playoff. The third clue is going to be 2005. This should give it away, okay? Clue number 3 is 2005. So, Gator, playoff, 2005. Okay? Hey, I heard the guys talking this morning, and I was looking some stuff up. Did you see that Steph Curry has now made 4,000 three-pointers?
That's a lot of three-pointers.
That's got to be over 10,000 points.
It's got to be, yeah. It's got to
be over 10,000 points.
12,000.
I'm not sure what it would be. It's got to be over 10,000 points.
I'd put my money on it.
Your headlines, as always, presented by Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program. Take your career to the next level with Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program, a perfect tool for professionals looking to advance their role or an organization needing to develop leaders. For more information, And to register, visit nate.ca/CLSP. Take your career to another level. Man, oh man, we are getting a lot of guesses of the same person, and it's not that person. Okay? Gator Playoff 2005. Yeah, we're getting a lot of guesses of the same athlete, and it's not that athlete. I can't say who it is. By the way, Pandas basketball, want to update them. They, in the national quarterfinal last night, were beaten by Saskatchewan, so they go to the consolation draw. We had Coach Scott Edwards on a couple of days ago. We had somebody in the Nasty Chat very vocally supporting the Saskatchewan Huskies yesterday, saying that they were going to beat the girl Pandas, which is kind of redundant because the Pandas is the name of the female team at the U of A. They have a separate name for the men's team. People may know that it's called the Golden Bears. But unfortunately, the Pandas unable to get it done. Pandas hockey is going to be at Nationals next weekend, so we'll try to do something with their team next week. All right, 3:57. We're going to take the 4 o'clock break here. Hernan Salas is coming up. It's Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The Lock Shop.
Chris Knobloch has gone where every Oiler coach has gone before, playing 97 and 29 all game and having everyone else just around watching.
They fall behind by 1, and the coach just goes immediately to Draisaitl and McDavid together. I joked today with Jamie Thomas when we had him on. I asked him, so with the Jets being pretty good, Scott O'Neill must mix up the lines every single game, right? And he's like, it's kind of funny. I can't figure this group out.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the internationally recognized tribute, the Alan Jackson Experience, April 18th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca.
Dropping the first of a back-to-back last night, 3-2 in New Jersey. Edmonton hits the ice in Long Island tonight. EST gets you set for the action as Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas go live on location at Boston Pizza Westgate for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show. Catch that one live at 4:30 right here on EST. Aiden Hill has signed a 6-year, $37.5 million extension with the Golden Knights. A 28-year-old Stanley Cup champ has a .906 save percentage in 39 games this season. We also got the Red Wings meeting the Hurricanes. Ducks challenging the Preds while the Avs and Flames drop the puck. Calgary's Michael Backlund out week to week. He suffered a lower body injury Wednesday against Vancouver. The Chiefs have extended 29-year-old Kareem Hunt to a one-year deal worth $2.5 million. He recorded 7 touchdowns and was the Chiefs' leader in rushing yards last season. On the court, the Raps battle the Jazz, the Lakers, and Nuggets tip off before Sacramento plays Phoenix, having 10 games around the association. LA's Luka Doncic will not play tonight. He sits out with some lingering issues, a sprained ankle and a left calf injury. For the U Sports Consolation semifinal, it's the U of A Pandas taking on the SMU Huskies in Vancouver. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Okay, here's the deal, everybody. Oilers and Islanders start at 5:30. At 4:30 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas will take over with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show. I also want to tell you, Matt Hyman has identified the mystery athlete of the game for Hudson's Canada's Pub. But Matt is in Winnipeg. So he said, I don't worry about giving me the prize. Let's keep going. Okay? So the 3 clues are Gator Playoff 2005. Matt Hyman figured it out.
Nice.
Nobody else has figured it out. Do I want to give him no? Because I think once I play the audio clue,
it's going to give it away.
It'll give it away. Well, even that might be. Well, no, because the audio clue. It's an interesting audio clue, Hernan, because it is not a play made by the mystery athlete.
Oh.
But it is a play made sort of against the mystery athlete. Okay?
Okay.
And the person who makes the play, Gator, does not fit with him.
Oh,
so then people should be able to figure out, it's that person's competitor, I guess, or rival, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
That probably gave it away. Like I'm giving it away. I'm giving extra clues. That
my
shouldn't even be clues. My goodness. But you got to submit your guesses. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. All right, Hernan, thanks for dropping by, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Excited to go to BP's, have some good food.
Or you're going to be able to go?
Yeah, I'm doing pregame from there. So I'm going to rush over there.
I didn't realize I was making you. I thought you were doing your thing here still.
No, Tom.
So you got to go right away then.
No, it takes me 6 minutes to get there.
It is pretty close.
Yeah, no, and Tom said he can start off and I'll just join in if it's not on time. But no worries at all. It's just easier this way, Well,
I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah,
and I appreciate you and your significant other, Angelica, submitting words of the day
Shut up,
the other day.
So it's funny because around 5:40 when you guys do it, we're usually having dinner, right?
Yeah.
And I have you guys on in the background, and she started saying, she's like, what's this word of the day? And then she was laughing out of the few ones. And then so I brought it up because it's one of her favorite segments now. She's like, I want to hear the word of the day because we try to guess what it is and how to spell it. So it was great to participate. She had a good time watching that. Soccer.
Right. Yeah, that was a good word. SUCCOR, right?
Yes.
And what does it mean to care for someone in distress or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It was.
So does she use that word in her everyday life?
No, I just said, can you find a word for the boys? She's like, okay. And then she thought it was funny because it's sucker, right?
Well, it was very misleading. She's trying to toy with me. She's never even met me. She's like, I got to torment this Reid Wilkins character. He seems like a goofball. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Remember to hit that thumbs up, man. Like we've kind of stalled
Come on.
here.
Let's go.
I think people gave a lot of thumbs last week leading up to the trade deadline, and now maybe their fingers are tired from clicking it.
Maybe they're.
You got to keep clicking it.
They got the thumbs up fatigue. Like Hernan has Oiler fatigue right now. But it's all going to change because they're going to win tonight.
You think so? Why are you saying that? Just because?
I just want to be positive. Because the Oilers, listen, I don't think they were terrible last night. I go back to that third period last night, Reid, and the first 8 minutes, they were really good.
Fair enough.
They were all over them. They just couldn't they found the goal, but they just couldn't hold on. And I was looking at the Islanders lineup, Reid, and I'm just like, they're like, if they lose this game, it's just atrocious. Like on paper, and I know everybody's sick of talking about on paper, but the Oilers should destroy this team tonight.
Well, they don't have Barzal. Now, the here's another discouraging thing about last night. Okay, though the Oilers don't have Ekholm. Fair enough.
Yes.
There are usually injuries, and I usually don't go down the injury road because everybody's missing somebody. But the Oilers didn't have Ekholm. The Islanders did not have Jay Hughes, Jack Hughes, their best player.
Yes.
Dougie Hamilton.
Yes.
And Siegenthaler as well.
He's a pretty good player.
Solid.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, though. The Oilers can't really... They never jump on anybody. Like, they never, like, kind of
take
box
advantage
anybody
of it.
out or hem them in. And so now the question is, the question is getting to be, because look, when they sucked in the decade of darkness, Rob and I got a lot of calls. It's like, well, there's no effort. And like, well, actually, they're trying. They're just inferior hockey players as a team.
Yes.
Okay, now are we starting to worry that there are too many guys here who are maybe just simply starting to become inferior hockey players relative to other teams?
Yeah. I mean, you look at him at TS Janmark, who didn't play last night, but Adam Enrique's taking an enormous step back. And I don't know if it's because he's playing center or whatever. Connor Brown, I mean, he scored more this year, but he went 32 games without a goal and doesn't miss a shift.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Podkolzin, listen, for me, he's the perfect fourth line guy. And if you want to moonlight him in a few shifts in the top 6 or top 9, go ahead. But I'm tired of talking about Podkolzin because he didn't do anything. He takes bucks out. Well, good for him. That's what most forwards should do on any NHL team. So, but I also look at this team, Reid, and the little things that they're missing, the details, the battle in front of that's on the player. And they got to want to do that. And I feel like a lot of them don't want to right now. And Gager brings up the good point, too, where it's like, are these guys just like, to put it, he didn't say this, but I'm trying to kind of explain. Like, are they just bored? They're like,
I hope not.
No, but like, this is just another regular season game. We're going to the playoffs. Like, I just, I'm good. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're not giving that fierce, like, competitor that we want to see that we saw in the playoffs. It's just like these guys are just going through the motions right now.
Yeah, I understand that to an extent. And I do think, I know as observers and fans, you like to think, well, they're going to try their hardest every single game. But I always remind people there's another team trying pretty hard too.
Yeah.
And, there is a certain, I do think there are times in the regular season when teams might think, okay, you know what, I don't need to block every shot. Okay, we're up 4-1, or this team's not that good. Maybe I don't need to finish every body check. But I do think that they have to start to wake up at least a bit here. I mean, there will be playoff games in just over a month. And I know if you look historically, I mean, yes, those Islanders teams that won 4 in a row, they actually, I actually, if I have to go back and look, I think the Islanders had better regular seasons in the late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And then won a cup, and then but the Oilers haven't won a cup.
No,
they've only been to a final. So I don't know. Like Jode says, other sources close to the team are saying exactly that. They're bored. Maybe Jodes, but when does
bored? It's probably not the right word.
When does that they know they have more to give, and they'll decide when they're going to give it. Maybe, but
that's a problem, Reid, because you should give it every night. No, it's human nature. We forget these guys are human sometimes. They're not robots.
True.
So not every player is going to be at their best every night, but it shouldn't be 10 guys. It shouldn't be, you have 12 forwards and 7 of them decide to take the night off.
Yes, it shouldn't be guys who could be replaced by Trent Frederick or even Matt Savoy or Noah Philp.
Exactly.
Or even Derek Ryan. I know Jay and I haven't talked about him a lot, but I know you and Gager have been talking more about somebody like that coming back to the team.
It's just, I think tonight they're going to start the nuclear. Like, just go with it. That's all you do anyway.
Have to. I think you have to.
If Jeff Skinner's out, I'm going to lose it because he called him out yesterday in a good way. He was in there. He was, that line was really good. Then why just play them? For me, Janmark doesn't have to be in the lineup. No, if he comes in, take Kapanen out. It's that simple. Kapanen does nothing for me. Max Jones, Reid played 4 minutes last night.
Which I was surprised.
Me too. I think it's only a matter of time before he's out of the lineup.
No, but again, I did say there's a reason he's been in the AHL most of the season. And that's when they picked up Kapanen. I'm like, there's a reason he's on waivers, and he probably overperformed for about 5 or 6 weeks.
And that's the thing with Mac Jones. We all got it. I include myself. We all got excited because he came in, laid some big hits, looked pretty good. But like you said, and you make a great point, there's a reason why he was in the minors on a not very good Boston Bruins team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little mind-boggling because, like I keep saying, they were 22-6-1 or 22-6-2 if you want to add in that Detroit game, which I'm starting to now leave out just to go back to the start of February and make it a little easier. But hopefully they can jump on the Islanders tonight. Pickard's in net. He's had a pretty good season. I know his last couple of starts, or maybe I guess 2 of the last 3 haven't been that great, but. But it's all ends of the ice. Like, I can't just pin it on the goaltending and defending, though I know that they're subpar.
Absolutely.
I can't, I always look at the whole thing, and I don't like letting offensive players off the hook.
No.
If you're a forward in the NHL, like if you want to get 10 goals, and most Oilers forwards did last year, if you want to have a 10-goal season, you should score every 8 games. Well, over this 15-game stretch, most guys have 1 or 0 goals who are forwards.
Outside of Draisaitl and Perry, everybody's having a disappointing year. And if you're going to score 2 goals a night, you're not going to win a lot of hockey games. And it's unfair that you have to go to Draisaitl and McDavid every single game and run him to the ground to get goals. Someone needs to step up here. And it's ridiculous that it's March 14th and we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Can they turn it around in 17 games? I sure they can. They've shown us that they can turn it around and be a really elite team. But, man, this is concerning.
We are buying or selling, courtesy Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. I will buy on starting McDavid and Draisaitl to get together tonight just because you got to try and get goals from somewhere. And I think and Knobloch referred to this last night, that sometimes if you put other players with those guys, they think they're different players. They try to play top 6 hockey.
Yeah, and they're not.
Right.
Yeah, and that was very telling. And it's the second time he's mentioned something like this this season where, yeah, it's great to play with Draisaitl and McDavid, but they forget who they are.
Yeah.
Right? And then you saw Podkolzin make a draw pass at the blue line. Like, that's not you. Dump the puck in the corner and go get it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they got to win, like, again, 92 points. If they keep getting just over a third of their points, we could have a very tense final 3 games of the season. Again, depending on how Calgary and Vancouver do, or Utah or St. Louis or whoever. Who else are you looking at?
I can't even imagine.
Well, Utah's actually only 2 points. Oh, Utah and St. Louis are now tied. Sorry, I forgot they were tied.
It's getting close here, Reid. It's getting scary time. And the other thing, like I was telling Gager, like I've seen, like we've all been through the decade of darkness. Like it was terrible. I just can't see the Oilers dropping this game tonight. After 2 games where a bad game in Buffalo, a better game last night, but again, they just can't get out of their own way. Like if tonight there's not a better effort, more attention to detail, I think the alarm bells even get louder.
Well, and the Islanders they're highly mediocre. Well, they're actually below average if you think of like 508 points percentage. They've lost 2 in a row. Waugh, since he took over, is a 545. 60. They went 608 last year and they got into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an awesome roster. So the Oilers got to get out there and attack and take some initiative.
That's what I mean. Like, someone needs to step up here and just help out Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid and look across from you and put in the heart. Because if you work hard tonight, Reid, you should win the game because you're a better team. But you got to work.
Yeah. All right, here's the final clue. Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete League. You'll be able to hear this, Hernan?
Probably not. I forgot my headphones over
Okay,
there.
that's
but
all right. So the clues so far are Gator, playoff, and 2005. Here's the fourth clue. Oh, we're not hearing it, Koob. How do we get it on?
Is it on my end?
Did you turn the faders down?
Here it is.
Here it comes. Oh, my goodness. Have you seen anything like that?
All right, so I hope the winning guess comes in soon. The clues are Gator, playoff, 2005, and that bit of audio. Hernan, you couldn't hear it, but you'll know the call. In your life, have you seen something like that? And as I said, it's not the person who made the shot.
Yeah.
It's the other person who was greatly affected by that shot.
Oh, okay. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, so a couple guesses coming in for the person who made the shot, because the person who made the shot was not a Gator.
Yeah.
You know who it is now. Do you remember the other guy?
I'm not a big...
I know. He was good. He was good for a while. He finished... well, now I can't give more clues.
Oh, yeah, just leave it. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it.
Matt Hyman got it without the audio clues 20 minutes ago. Oh, you know what? I missed that. Okay. Mex got it a few minutes ago. I missed it that Mex got it at 4:06, and he's like, I already won, Reid, you idiot. Okay. It's Chris DeMarco.
Yeah.
So Woods makes that chip in on 16 for birdie. But here, because a lot of people say that's the shot that won Tiger Woods the Masters. Incorrect. That was a key shot along the way. That gave Woods a 2-shot lead. Woods bogeyed 17, bogeyed 18, and DeMarco had a chip onto the 18th green for birdie that lipped out.
Oh.
And then Woods won in a playoff. But if Woods doesn't make that, and birdie's 17 and 18. So, Mex, I'm going to ask you this. Mex, you have won before. Do you want to... do you want to win, or do you want to pass it on to the next person? I'll give Mex that decision, because somebody else just texted in a winning guess. I know we shouldn't do that, but Mex has been really, really good, and he's pretty nice. So he might defer it to somebody else, because this is pretty cool here too. All right, I got to get in the final timeout here.
The Oilers take on the Islanders. Calvin Pickard is the expected starter for Edmonton. Catch Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they bring you the GCL Diesel Oil Stream Pregame Show. Live on location at Boston Pizza Westgate. You can swing by BP's for the show or tune in just about 10 minutes right here on EST. Flames captain Michael Backlund is week to week. He sustained an upper body injury Wednesday in a loss against the Canucks, and the Flames challenge the Avs tonight, while the Stars and Jets duke it out before the Kraken drop the puck against a hockey club on a 6-game NHL slate. Aiden Hill stays in Vegas. A 28-year-old Comox native signs a 6-year deal worth a total of $37.5 million. Basketball has 10 games. Toronto is on the road in Utah. Memphis and Cleveland tip off, while the Clippers meet the Hawks. And Lakers star Luka Doncic will not suit up tonight against the Nuggets. He's battling some lower body injuries with an ankle sprain and a left calf issue. For the Jays, they have the Astros tonight. 16 total games on tap. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they got plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. I'm Zachary Kubusch. Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the break.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Missing the course? The Canadian Ice House is here to keep your skills sharp. Trackman golf simulators are open. Real golf action right in downtown Edmonton. Don't let the off-season slow you down. Visit us in-store or check out thecanadianicehouse.com for all the details.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the internationally recognized tribute, the Alan Jackson Experience, April 18th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Okay, our off-topic topic for William Huff was rank the following on Pie Day: pie, cake, cookies, and chips. My informal tally is that cake comes in first, followed by cookies, followed by chips, and then pie comes in last. That's taking the very informal poll off the Nasty Chat and off the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Give us 10 more thumbs up before we sign off at 4:30, so we at least get to 100. We'll do the word of the day coming up at about 5:50. The show's going to resume at 5:30. The Oil Stream's going to take over the stream here at 4:30 with Tom and Hernan from Westgate BP, and they will get you set for the Islanders and the Oilers, which is the game of the night for Play More Tables and Games. From ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for. Visit Canada's Game Room Experts locations in Edmonton or Calgary, or online at playmoregames.ca. I'll also identify the Avalanche and Flames as a game of the night. The Flames, 71 points. They hold the final playoff spot in the West. The Canucks also have 71, but the Flames have a game in hand, so that's why they're placed higher, and they will make up that game in hand tonight. So, yeah, Chris DeMarco was the mystery athlete of the game. We're going to give it, Mech says give it to the second person to get it right. We're going to give it to Cole Harbor Joe. Now, can you take care of this through the text line, Koob? Because I don't know how they do all the prize recording and stuff like that. Yet another thing I got to learn. But Cole Harbor Joe, you won. So Zachary Kubusch will get in touch with you. You get the $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pup. All right, we got a break. The Oil Stream pregame show starts at 4:30. I'll be back with you at 5:30. Talk to you then.